Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I am going to talk about another important task as a senior SRE that I am part of. This is currently in progress and this is around cost optimization. So we are using a tool called CloudZero that we have integrated with our AWS accounts, all the AWS accounts, and we are trying to track the cost for the different services for the different teams, and we are trying to find a way by which we can optimize these costs. We can reduce our AWS bill. So that's what we want to use it for. So if I talk about this tool itself, so this is a FinOps tool, which is a very popular term right now in the DevOps space. In terms of CloudZero, it is not just a simple billing tool. You can say it's a cost intelligence platform because it helps answer which service is costing how much, which team is owning a particular cost in the cloud. We can also track our cost as per service, as per customer, as per API, as per feature. So we have these different type of customizations available in this tool. So in short, if I just want to talk about this tool, so AWS shows what you spent, CloudZero shows why you spent it. Okay, so that's what we use this tool for. And if I talk about a few more points around this, so we have a platform team that we have spoken about. So the team has integrated all our AWS accounts with CloudZero, and then the responsibility has been given to the SRE team to see that the first thing that we have to take care of is that we have correctly tagged all our resources in AWS for our different services. So it depends from one company to the other or one project to the other. What are your most important tags that you want to put on each resource that you're using for your services, so that those can be tracked down in a cost optimization platform like CloudZero. So for example, we want to track the cost using the tags called team owner, then the name of the service, and the environment in which the services have been deployed. So these are the three tags. I think these are some of the commonly used tags across organizations, but it may vary as well depending on where you're working. So our role is the role of the SRE team is to ensure that all of these resources used for the different services are tagged properly. And most of our services are deployed into EKS clusters. So we have close to 25 services that we support, and all are deployed as pods inside multiple EKS clusters in dev, QA, and pod environments. So, but apart from EKS, we do have other costs as well in terms of other resources that we use. For example, S3 buckets, SNS topics, SQS queues. We have some Lambda functions as well. So I think there are close to 15 to 20 services that we use in AWS that we want to track down here in CloudZero and see where we can optimize it. So if I talk about a few things that we do, so the first thing is we need to ensure that all the resources are tagged properly. Then in this tool, you can create various types of dashboards. Okay, so those dashboards are created just to enable all the application teams to see the cost team wise or service wise, and then they can have internal discussions around that how to optimize the cost. And if they need any assistance there, they can reach out to us. Or what SRE team can do, we can also see where they are spending more, and we can just recommend that this is the service that is consuming too much. I think this can be controlled. So if I talk about a few tasks that I'm working on currently as part of this particular space, I mean cost optimization in CloudZero. So we have identified a few RDS instances in the non-prod environment where I see the size of the database is huge, like over 500 gigs. Maybe we are just using 10 to 12 gigs per month of storage there. So I think this can be reduced. Apart from that, you know that in AWS, whenever there is new update available to the database engine version, AWS is going to recommend that. AWS is going to notify us that there's a new version available, and we can choose the maintenance window of our choice and apply those updates so that we are using the latest version of the database engine. So right now we have identified a few RDS instances for which I don't see the latest updates being applied. And if you don't do that, if you pass that deadline that is given by AWS to you, then you have to pay extra for that. So that extended support from AWS is uh, costing us a lot. Okay, so this is like one more area where we are working to get these engine versions updated as soon as possible. Apart from that, I also see that some RDS instances in the non-prod environments were multi-AZ enabled, which we don't need, okay, because in non-prod environments we can still do with like a single database instance. We don't have to create multi-AZ everywhere. In production, it's a mandate, but in non-production, we can do without it. So these are some of the recommendations that I was able to find out in terms of RDS instances. Now, if I talk about one more, which is related to our AWS EKS pods. So as I mentioned, most of our applications are deployed into AWS EKS clusters as pods. So I was just checking in this CloudZero dashboard only, where we can see some recommendations given by CloudZero, because CloudZero has all the data now, and it can it can analyze and it can recommend a few things from its end as well. So I found that um, a lot of our pod resource request is like configured too high, which means that CloudZero recommends that we review the resource request parameters that have been set on these pod spec in the deployment YAML manifest file. So the resources on these 10 to 12 different application pods are highly underutilized, which means that resource request, whatever you have set, the value in terms of the CPU and the memory that will be assigned to these pods are not being used by our application container process inside the pod. So this is like one area where we can work on. But yes, I mean, following these recommendations, we need a lot of load testing as well in the lower environment, because it's a big change if something goes wrong with the application. So we need to be really sure that we can actually reduce these values and it's not going to impact the application. One thing I recommended that we can start small and we can configure VPA or Vertical Pod Autoscaler for each of these applications. For few applications it is already there, but I think we still need to get the value of these resource requests lower, because our application container process is not using those many resources as we've assigned. So I think we can use the concept of VPA or Vertical Pod Autoscaler here, which means that we can start with a smaller pod, and when we need it, we can auto scale it. Okay, so this is how we can start working on like a few tasks. So this is like one recommendation that I gave, but yes, there are other things as well. Okay, so yeah, I think this is what I'm working on. I just wanted to share because this is a real task that I'm working on. So I think people were looking for this type of stuff where I talk about the real task that I am working on right now. So this is one task which I'm working on. I'll see to it whether I can use CloudZero. I can like try to deploy it, and I can show you how to integrate this tool, how to use it in your laptop to learn about this tool. And I think this is going to help you in interview also. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to cover. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. Please share this video with others. Please do subscribe to my channel. And also I would like to mention that I have a YouTube premium membership as well, where I share a lot of premium content. So you can check that out as well if it's going to be of any help to you. I'm sure it is. It's going to help you a lot crack interviews, even when you're working in a company as an SRE especially. It's going to help you a lot. I have a lot of content around observability space especially. I have I mean, how we use traces, how we use metrics with OTel, how we use Loki logs for log aggregation. So I have 4 videos where I've spoken about the metrics, logs, and traces part, how to like get started with it, and what is the meaning of it and all that. So you can check those videos. All right, that's all for this one, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye for now.